Hi guys, this is John with Meatgistics University, and this is tender venison jerky. So recently, we've been doing a fair amount of our tender beef jerky here. We finally figured out a great recipe and a way to actually keep it tender while still making a shelf-stable product. We want to see what it's like with deer, so we're taking the exact same recipe and we're doing it with venison. We're gonna see how it turns out. We haven't done this one yet, so we're all gonna experience it together. What we're doing is 20% of the product's weight in low sodium soy sauce. It's gotta be low sodium. If you use regular strength, it's gonna be too salty to eat. Then we're using 18% of the product's weight in brown sugar. That would be 1.8 pounds of brown sugar if you're doing a 10-pound batch. So say goodbye to the healthy jerky. This is definitely something else. Then we've broken out the right amount of cure and seasoning. We're using the Walton's Bold. Works really well with these other two ingredients. And we are gonna add some rice wine vinegar. That is gonna be 1.2%. And then some lemon juice concentrate at 0.6%. So those be very careful with, especially this. I miscalculated on a batch and you can definitely taste the lemon. That's not something you want. The reason that we're adding the soy sauce and these other ingredients is because we want them to work on the meat and tenderize it. What we're gonna do is we're gonna slice our jerky a little bit thinner than we have in the past, just under 1/4 of an inch. Then we're gonna mix all these ingredients together and we are gonna just mix until everything is as dissolved as possible. We don't wanna see any dredges or anything hanging out at the bottom of our mixing bowl. We want everything as suspended as possible. Now, when we're talking about this amount of sugar and seasoning, that might not happen. And that's just gonna be okay, but we are gonna do our absolute best to get it all to suspend in the soy sauce and the other liquids. Then we're gonna vacuum tumble it. So if you don't have a vacuum tumbler at home, one thing you can do is get this in a vacuum bag. Then we're gonna leave it in the vacuum container, so under vacuum in a cooler overnight. We're gonna let all these ingredients continue to work on that meat, break it down, tenderize it. And if you only have a vacuum sealer, you can do this. Just put all of this together, mix it up, put it with your meat in a vacuum bag, and hold it for about 24 hours. Occasionally, every couple of hours, I would do when possible, go in and really massage the meat through the bag. That's gonna help break it down. But if you are doing it with just a vacuum sealer, a tenderizer is absolutely essential to your process. So we're back. We ran a drying phase for 20 minutes at 140 degrees. So that is no humidity and vents wide open. If you have a fan, should be running at that point. We then did 150 degrees with smoke and humidity. We did that for 30 minutes. Then we did 155, again with smoke and humidity. We did that for 30 minutes. We then started getting to a cook cycle that was 165 degrees. We wanted smoke and humidity, and we ran that until it was 155 degrees. We then left it there for at least 5 minutes. So there is something called Appendix A, and that will show you that you can get proper lethality, same as cooking up to 160 degrees, if you cook to 155 degrees and leave it there for a set amount of time. 5 minutes is technically overkill on that, but I don't care. That's where we ran it to. I then ran a final drying phase of 15 minutes at 160 degrees, fan full on, no humidity, vents wide open. At that point, you're trying to dry it off as much as is reasonable. Not as much as possible, but as much as reasonable. The final result, we went ahead and took the water activity on this, and it was 0.643 or something unbelievably low. And it is as tender as, I can do the worm with this. This is deer. Deer jerky is actually one of my favorite proteins to use for jerky. but it's usually pretty dry. This is incredible. Absolutely 100% something I recommend everybody start doing. If you take your deer to a locker, I would ask them to do this. This is what you should be expecting from venison jerky from here on out. It's too good. There's no reason to go back to dry jerky. This is amazing. As always, remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and visit waltonsinc.com and meatgistics.com to find everything but the meat. Thanks for watching. I'm John with Meatgistics University, and we'll see you guys next time.
Subscribe to Walton's YouTube channel to check out more amazing videos. Shop at waltonsinc.com to find everything but the meat. Or watch more Hamtic videos by clicking here or by clicking here.